Gore! Gore!
Welcome to Outside the Ring. I'm here with my guest, the man beast, Rhino.
How are you, man?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Good, good.
I'm gonna start by asking, what got you into the world of like professional wrestling?
It's just something that I grew up and I watched as a kid, and I figured, you know what? I'll just jump on there and do my best and see where it takes me.
Where did you start wrestling at first? Like, what was your first like promotion?
BCW, actually.
How long have you been wrestling for?
Oh, geez, probably about 30 years now.
I go back, watch like some of your older matches from
Mhm.
like TNA, WWE and stuff. I
Yeah,
found, and you faced AJ Styles in the first Elevation X match and
yeah,
won that.
yeah, yeah.
What was that like?
It was fun. It was interesting. Just being able to, do a scaffold match, and definitely don't want to do it again. So I did a couple of them. So yeah,
You made history by competing in the first one.
yeah, that's for sure. So I'm undefeated in them.
I see you wearing that IWR hat.
Yeah, yeah. I encourage everybody to come out to the IWR shows and definitely, support local wrestling, independent wrestling promotions, and start up podcasts like yours that you got. So
Did you start up IWR?
years ago, yeah, it was just a charity, more or less. I did charity shows. So yeah.
What made you want to start up IWR? Like charity type stuff or?
Just run promotions. I seen a lot of things people were doing wrong with certain promotions I've worked for, and I just started a promotion and trying to see if I knew how to run it the right way. And I still make mistakes like anything.
Yeah.
You're gonna make mistakes, and you just got to keep on going. Learning from them and uh, working towards putting on a good product. So.
How do you recruit talent for IWR?
Usually through Skull and Bones Pro Wrestling School. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You see who's like,
who's ready?
yeah,
Give
who's
guys
ready.
opportunities, and girls. So and book a lot of people that are established wrestlers too. So
What made you want to? Because I saw you called out Vince McMahon on TNA and then put the TNA World Title in the trash can and burn it.
no, actually, that was it was all a work.
Yeah.
It was for entertainment, was for the show, and that wasn't the ECW title. And if you notice, I walked away. And then when I walked away, someone grabbed the title that was in the bag out of the garbage, and I burnt nothing but wood and paper. So little magic, So
Don't want to actually burn anything that could
no,
have some history
no,
behind it
yeah,
or
we don't
anything
want
in
to
general.
desecrate any titles. So it was all, it was all work. So,
So, what influenced you to go like join TNA or Impact after leaving WWE or WWF at the time?
well, it was a good opportunity. Um, you know, and it was a place where I wanted to continue my career. And you had a lot of guys like Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Abyss, guys that I could work with. Um, you know, Billy Gunn was there, Road Dogg, Jeff Jarrett, the Hardys. Well, I should say Jeff Hardy was there. So a lot of good talent. So
Legendary names you threw out there
yeah, yeah,
who went
so,
on to do their own thing or
yeah, and
things in WWE and TNA.
yeah, still continuing doing some,
Yeah.
great stuff. So
How'd you come up with the gore, the name, and then like the move?
we came up with a name, and Tracy Smothers. Yeah. So
What made you want to adapt a pile driver as a like finisher back in TNA?
it's something that I was doing, and I felt comfortable doing. And I actually did it to oh, I forget the guy's name, but it just kind of fit. So
I saw in that,
WWE, we couldn't do it. So
yeah. I saw in a fatal or four-way Monsters Ball match. It was you, Jeff, I think AJ, and someone else I can't think of. And
yeah.
you did it to, I don't remember who, but you did someone off the second rope.
Oh yeah, Jeff Hardy. Yeah.
Yeah, funny enough, the first match that I like professional wrestling match, shall I say, I watched, it came up on YouTube from Raw in 2002.
Hmm.
It was Jeff Hardy versus Undertaker in the ladder match for the WWF title.
Okay.
So I tell everyone my two favorite wrestlers, number one's Taker, and then number two is Jeff Hardy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, they're the ones that got me into like professional wrestling and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I watched Undertaker's final farewell at Survivor Series live on Peacock and stuff. It made me tear up a bit because he's someone I watch. I watch some of his older matches.
Well, he got over 30 years with WWE,
Yeah,
so
30.
there's a
Yeah,
lot of, yeah, there's a lot of great
history.
material to watch, with The
Yeah,
Undertaker. So,
he retired at the same event he debuted at.
oh, okay.
He debuted 1990 at Survivor Series.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, well, that's cool. So, but all right. You got any more questions?
Yeah. Um, let's see. Who are some of your favorite people that sold the gore? Do you have any names that you think sold the gore really well?
Um, oh, so many people from Jericho to Game Boy to The Rock. You name it. I don't think they had a choice. So,
Gore's vicious.
yeah, that's what they say. So, but
Do you have any like fan interactions that left an impact on you, either personally or as like Rhino the character?
um, I always enjoy the interaction with the fans when I'm, in the ring. I also enjoy, having one-on-one conversations with them. Um, whether it's, at a meet and greet or, wherever it might be that I might run into a fan, and and it usually helps, um, they think it's kind of cool too, that I take some time out and talk with them, and it
Yeah.
goes a long ways. So,
Yeah. How do you stay motivated to keep on wrestling?
The motivation just comes from the passion. If you have a passion for something, you're motivated and driven to accomplish whatever goals you have set forth in front of you. And, you just gotta, um, you'll get knocked down, you'll fail a lot, but as long as you succeed in those, when you succeed big, you know. But yeah, just having a love and passion for it, that's motivating.
Can you share any upcoming projects or goals you have set for in your wrestling career?
I just enjoy wrestling with Impact and producing. I enjoy wrestling at Independence. And I also enjoy, running IWR with a buddy of mine. So it's those passions, and that's just keep on working hard and helping out the next generation.
Do you have any goals you set that you've accomplished in your wrestling career?
Um, Working main events, holding titles, just going out there working hard. Um, trying to have, you know, just trying to always improve, and adapt because sometimes you're hurt, you have to work through it, so you have to adapt to certain things like that.
What made you want to join or go back to TNA after you got released the second time from WWE?
Actually, I didn't get released. They they offered me another contract, but I knew I wasn't going to be um,
Utilized?
right, correctly. And which is understandable. They had 250 guys under contract, and in my and it wasn't being in a being utilized in a top spot. I was there to help the younger generation, and if I'm not in the ring helping them out, I'd become miserable. So I knew I'd rather take a pay cut and go and be productive and help that next generation because I can't help them from sitting at home collecting a paycheck.
Yeah.
So that's what was the driving force on making that decision to uh, leave. So
Do you have any favorite like opponents?
geez, there's so many of them: Sabu, Sandman, Jericho, Christian, Hardy Boys, um, Dudley's, Moose, Eddie Edwards. Oh, just a ton of them. Yeah. So
Do you have a Mount Rushmore for WWE or WWF?
you know what? I get asked that a lot. I should, you know, from the '80s, I'd probably say Rowdy Piper, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair. Well, he wasn't WWE at the time. Maybe Ultimate Warrior, Rick Rude, guys like that. Ted DiBiase. There's so many. Then the '80s or the '90s would probably be like Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, uh, Triple H. You know, so
Yeah, some of those guys you listed, you actually got to share the ring with,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
the Hardys, Edge and Christian.
yeah, yeah.
What about WCW? Do you have a WCW Mount Rushmore?
Oh yeah, Ric Flair, um, Sting, Arn Anderson. I mean, you got the Horsemen right off the bat.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's so many, and then obviously in the '90s, and so there's quite a few. Yeah. So
Who are some people you like to face in the future?
um, that's a good question. Yeah, that's definitely a good question. I'd like to wrestle Adam Copeland one more time at least. Maybe Christian. Um, Trent. I'd like to work with him. Um, Rich Swan, Trey Miguel. Yeah, so some of those guys. Notice how I didn't say any women wrestlers because they'd kick the shit out of me. So
How'd your tag team with
Heath
Heath
Slater.
Slater come into play?
They just needed a tag team for a tag team tournament. They threw us together and it just worked. It wasn't meant to be together for, we weren't meant to be a tag team for more than one or two matches. And instantly the fans just took to us. Why, I'm still, trying to figure out. It's just one of those things where, there was no plans for it. And and we meshed well together, became really good friends, traveled together, and yeah. So and it just worked, and people still love us teaming together. And it's just, there's something about it. So
It wasn't supposed to work so well yet
yeah, it
in the
did.
end.
It did. And it's
It
the
did.
fans, they loved it. They loved us together. Yeah. So
Fans got behind you, and then
yeah, the
you guys
three
ended up
years.
you guys ended up being the SmackDown oh, first SmackDown tag team champions.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Facing team being like the Usos,
yeah,
headbangers.
yeah.
What led to you guys disbanding in WWE?
We'll say that again.
What led to you guys like disbanding as a team in WWE?
Well, we never broke up as a team. Um, or well, yeah, there was a separation on Raw. But they put us like, there wasn't a feud or a breakup or anything. We just had to wrestle, and loser leaves town type deal,
Yeah,
and that was just thrown together. I don't know why. We still don't know why. And then I came back, and but I wasn't off any of the house shows either. I remember people thought I said that I retired. It was just people making shit up, because
yeah,
I walked off, and I didn't even turn around and say anything. And yeah, people were like, he said he's retiring. I'm like, never said anything like that.
yeah. Saw some online, like a
Yeah, yeah, there
news
was
article.
nothing spoken or nothing said. It's
Yeah,
just people, yeah.
they
So
said it said something about after 25 years in the business, Rhino lost to Heath Slater on Raw. Could be a hint
and
of retirement.
yeah. So there was nothing like that said. So
And then you guys end up teaming in
Impact,
Impact
yeah, which is now TNA.
back to TNA.
Yeah,
Fans really got behind,
yeah,
and then end up winning the
TNA tag titles.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you went on a brief stint as part of Violent by
Yeah,
Design.
by design. Yeah, yeah.
What
So
made you want to, or what led to that stint?
well, that was before they were allowing fans in, and if there was any time for me to uh, turn heel, it was, that was, you know, um, that was the time. And then we started slowly letting fans in. We were able to, because of the pandemic and everything. And then shortly after that, I came back, and it was when Heath was coming back and all that. Heath was gone, so he had surgery, and then he came back, and then the whole deal. And then I went back with Heath, and we feuded with them. So yeah,
I see, and I WR shows coming up near Port Clinton, and then next
Yeah,
day there's one somewhere up in Michigan,
yeah, in Monroe, Michigan. Yeah.
Monroe.
So yeah, they're moving pretty good. So ticket sales, I always encourage people to get their tickets in advance. The shows are usually they usually are done by 9 o'clock. We got a 9 o'clock curfew on the building, so yeah.
Before pandemic, everything, I actually came to a or went to a local promotion. I still do
Mhm. Where's that? What's the name of it?
live pro wrestling,
Where's that at?
Fremont, Ohio.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um, some people actually wrestle for IWR, wrestle down there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They've got a good promotion down there too. So
Yeah. And then more recently, I went up or came up to Michigan
mhm.
and went to a show, Winter Mania by NWCW, now
Okay,
SCW.
okay. How was that?
It was nice.
Good,
First
good.
wrestling show I went to. No, let me track back a bit. First independent wrestling show I went to out of state.
Oh, okay, cool.
Before that, I went to my first ever live WWE show
Yeah.
when I went up to Detroit
Oh,
for
okay.
SummerSlam.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Some
Well, all
people
right. Well, do you have one more question? I've got to get off here. I'm glad I could help you out with your podcast. So,
um if anyone wants or anyone watching wants to become a professional wrestler, what would you say to encourage them?
I would encourage them definitely look up a good school. I recommend Skull and Bones in Toledo, Ohio, um, or Can-Am, which is in Windsor, which is ran by Scott Demore. And then you have another one. It's Truth Martini School in Warren, Michigan. So, and there are other good schools around the country. You just have to look them up.
Yeah.
So,
My buddy wanted me to say, let's see. He wanted me to tell you hi and one and said, hope all is well with you. You might he wrestles under Johnny Go, formerly known as John Hotto.
oh, okay. Well, tell them I said hey.
Will do. Well, if that was outside the ring, thank you for joining me, Rhino.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Have a good one.
All right, you too.